All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Digital Mentors Wake Up Call here. This is the call where Monday morning we huddle up, and this is going to be more of a dial in. I'm going to keep my camera off for this one just to test some things because we really want this. We're having Zoom just so that we can create a dial in because we have international clients that want to start hopping on these calls as well, which is really cool. In the future, we may turn this into a full on Zoom and training and interactive, that type of stuff. But right now, today, we're going to be huddling up here and talking about every Monday, 11 a.m. Eastern. We hop in and we drop in around the idea of just mindset and this idea of just like, hey, this like 80% plus, I believe, is of building a coaching business is psychological, the psychology of the business owner, because here at Digital Mentors, my gosh, we have all of the tools, the systems, the frameworks, the templates, the software, the follow-up, the automations, the things where we can, go through a whole bunch of our plan phase and get super clear on our ideal client and messaging, and we can take that and dump it into some type of lead acquisition, client acquisition system and funnel. And those are the mechanics side of the business. Okay. And those pieces, if you can speak English, okay, if we could teach a monkey to speak English, they could plug and play and paint by numbers and get those pieces up. Yes or yes, right? I mean, it's here, follow the yellow brick road. I'm not and I'm not implying that that is an easy process. Obviously, it takes some work, a lot of massaging, getting clear on the audience, getting clear on the message. What's going to be your differentiator? What's going to be that thing that kind of allows you to stand out from the crowd out there? But that's figure outable. We've been doing that for 20 years here. We've got you on that. If you have questions, if you're a client, just ask. We can help. We can hop in calls. We've got, gosh, 7 and 9 live sessions throughout the week for additional support. We've got a super active group. Like, we're here. We can figure that piece out. The X variable, the big kind of X piece in this equation is going to be you, right? And that comes down to what's going on right between your ears and also right behind your breastbone. And that's what these calls are about. These calls, these specific calls, we're not talking about tactics. We're not talking about lead generation or ads or ROI. Today, we're talking about on these calls every single Monday, 11 a.m. Eastern, we dive into the mindset, into the energy, into what's actually going on under the hood, because that is dictating everything. If you're a guest here or listening to this podcast, every single Wednesday, we huddle up as well and we give you a whole bunch of valuable pieces to help you attract more clients, get clear on your message, systems and processes so that you can be talking to more ideal clients and enrolling more ideal clients into your high ticket offers. If you're a guest, just invite or just get back with whoever invited you and they can give you a link to join us in our coaching business accelerator every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern. And we give you a map. It ends up being about a 30-page customized business and marketing plan, a couple of AI bonuses to help you speed up the process. And then we give you some free coaching as well to make sure that you're doing the things right, to make sure that you have a clear path moving forward to get clients as quickly as possible. Okay. Now, on to today's session: joy, gratitude, happiness. That's what we're talking about. Because if you're bringing an energy to this business, ooh, that is stress. If you're getting on one-on-one calls or on workshops and you are all over the place, people are not stupid. They feel that. And what we need to do, I get it. If money is tight, your back's against the wall. Look, back in 2005, when I first got started, I went 30 grand in debt. I was making less than $2,000 a month as a broke bartender and a musician, doing things that I absolutely love with another co-founder here in Digital Mentors, my brother, touring up and down the East Coast. And I wouldn't change it for the world. And I was scared shitless, making 2 grand a month, not even knowing what's possible, finding my way about 30 grand in debt, trying to figure out my business, and then having to get beyond that, above that, so to speak, and not allowing my circumstances to dictate. I mean, gosh, if I brought that energy to my marketing, my content, the workshops, one-on-one calls, sales calls, that I was financially just broken, didn't know what the hell I was doing. And this is not a fake it till you make it kind of thing. We just have to breathe and find out, tune into what abundance could feel like, because there is abundance everywhere, right? The water on this planet, the oxygen in your lungs, there's abundance everywhere. There is more money on this planet than there has ever been ever, and they keep printing it. There is more money at our fingertips in circulation ever. There's more wealth out there. So instead of focusing on, holy shit, the 30 grand in debt, how am I ever going to do this? I started increasing my skills, number one, around marketing, connecting with people, sales, because I love people. I love people. I love connecting and seeing what the stories are, where they're at, what they've tried, what they're looking to do, and why. And when that involves kids and their spouse and freedom and being able to give back and contribute and make an impact, oh, it just, they've got some area of expertise. They've got some knowledge. They want to help somebody who might be one or two chapters behind them. That is a beautiful calling. And we here at Digital Mentors feel we believe you should get paid for that. So even when your back might be against the wall, right? Not sure what the next steps are, we have to get beyond what's going on right here and find the gratitude, find the happiness, find the wealth, and tune into that. And here's how I define joy. Because you're not just here to make as much money as possible at the sacrifice of everything you love. That's not what we believe here at Digital Mentors. We believe that you can build a business strategically that serves your greater purpose, your vision, your mission, not just for business, but for life. And if you're breaking your back to build this business and the relationships that matter most to you are being impacted by your not being present, that's a problem. That's a problem. And we have to start moving. We have to start kind of jumping timelines and getting out of that and know that that isn't you. We may have been conditioned like that. You may be, right up when your foot hits the ground, you might be, boom, conditioned and ingrained to start right into business mode or do whatever it is that you do. All of that's learned. We can unlearn that and we can tune into when my feet hit the ground first second of every day, I out will verbally speak gratitude. I literally, when my feet hit the ground every single morning, the first emotion that I want to feel when I'm out of bed, when my foot hits the ground, gratitude. Thank you, God. Here I am, another day. What a gift. What a blessing. And just breathe. It's these distinctions and these ways of being that mean everything. And when you can find the abundance before it's made manifest, like when you are like, yes, let's throw up the goals, the objectives, let's, make these targets and have this beautiful vision for where you want to go with you and your family and your business. That's beautiful. But the trick, the secret here is that you don't live your life from a place of lack. You don't live your life as if whatever that is over there and you're over here. You may not have whatever that result is, whatever you see in your mind's eye in this physical 5D, 3D dimension reality, but in this 5D quantum field potential, we can connect to it, man. We can change our energy and vibration, get ahead of the event, and tune into what could leadership look like. If I wanted to be the dad or the mom for my kids or the leader for my clients, what could that feel like? You've excelled in different areas of your life. You're really, really good at a good handful of things. Like, why can't we just associate that certainty, that confidence, that level of skills and start mapping that confidence over in this area? Right? You got good at the things you're really good at by repetition. It's the same thing here. Right? And every day you got a little bit stronger. You made a decision that, hey, you wanted to learn how to ride a bike. You didn't get on the bike when you were a kid and you fall over and say, okay, that bike isn't for me. You got up and you said, huh, you might have scrapped your knees up, might have hurt a bit, you might have cried a little bit. But you said it's not like, hey, this wasn't for me. As a kid, remember that energy? You just figured this shit out. You got up, you said, hey, I'm doing this, and let's go. You didn't care if somebody was watching. You didn't care if someone made fun of you because you fell. You got up and you just got back on and figured it out. And in spite of the fear, because you wanted to ride the bike, you saw your friends doing it. So your mom or dad, might be holding the back of the bike, pushing you down the street. You fall again. Right? But maybe that one didn't hurt so bad. And you learned a little bit of how to do this or that, or how to tweak the handlebars, or how to hit the brake in a particular way, and you got a little bit more. You got in the game and you got better. You fell down. You got up because you wanted to go here. Like, could we bring that playful energy into this adult life, this coaching business that we make so stressful, that we make so big, and such a, my God, if something happens, or if someone says this, or if I say the wrong thing on a LinkedIn Live or in a workshop, they're going to judge me. Oh my God, my content, it's not perfect. The lighting, like, stop, chill. What if you were able to get above and beyond all of that? And you were so whole, so full now, your cup was so full right now that in this present moment, which by the way is all we have, that because you've done the work, the meditation, the journaling, first thing I did, boom, meditation. But when I first got up, then today, I hopped in the garage and did about a 30-minute workout just to move the body, a little bit of me time before the screens, right? So that I can be full for my clients today. And I can tell the matrix that, hey, I get to dictate and choose where I put my time, where I put my energy. And I know that for me, movement is life. Movement is everything. And so is meditation. So those fill me up so much that my cup is, I can work crazy long hours. I can be, and this is still a practice for me, be present when I'm with my girl or my kids or my loved ones or my clients. I can be there. And I've learned to, that focus, that attention, that energy is one of the greatest gifts you can give somebody. When you practice and learn how to give your energy and your presence, put the phone away, the texting, the emails can wait. They're there. Don't worry. They'll be there when you go back. But what a gift. And this idea of gratitude and happiness and joy is not an outside external thing, right? And if you're waiting for the money to come and then you'll be happy, or then you'll publish the course, or then you'll do the workshop, or then you'll launch the podcast, or then you'll start making offers, you'll be waiting forever. It is your job as the leader to decide what it is that you want and start breathing that in. Start shifting. Start embodying what that looks like. Start really mapping that out and getting very clear on what it is you actually want. And then your job every single day is to allow that instead of having to go chase. What if you sat first thing in the morning, 15, 20 minutes, and you conjured up the emotional, energetic makeup, the state of what that would feel like if you had the 5-figure a month business, if you had the body, the relationship, what could that feel like? And you just start running that pattern, a new way of being, and you start really training your nervous system and your body to a new set, a new line, a new potential, a new future. And you start to unlearn some of the limiting stuff, the I'm not enoughs. Could this really work? Who am I to do X, Y, Z? Would they really, do I have that? All that muck and garbage and limiting stuff that society has slapped on you, or some kid or XYZ teacher, it was something, somebody said something, and now you keep telling yourself that 10, 20, 30 years later, as if the event is happening now. Your body doesn't know the difference. Your mind doesn't know the difference. You can be so good at practicing an event that messed you up in childhood that now here we are 30, 40, even 50 years later, it's like as if it was yesterday and you've held on to it. The trauma or the embarrassment or the shame or the failure, whatever it is, you don't need to do that anymore. And step one is getting out of your, like becoming the observer and watching this and starting to release it. Just say, this doesn't serve me anymore. And one of the biggest, really, I mean, reasons as a business owner, as a coach, is that if you hop on these calls and webinars from that place of lack, from that place of that less than, or that place of not even believing in yourself, how do you think that's gonna, it doesn't matter how many leads we get you. It doesn't matter how many people join your workshop. It doesn't matter how many one-on-one calls you get. If you are in that level, if you are playing the game at that space, they're going to run. So yes, you cannot, replace the idea or replace the physical skills of this business. And just as important is what's going on inside. Do you have that regulated nervous system? When you spend time with the client, a lot of time, and at the end of that, they say, hey, no, I need to think about it. How do you react? Like, how does that, does that cause you to flip out? Is that stress there, or are you grounded? Or do you allow yourself to emotionally react in that moment? As an example, or when your kids come running or do something that you don't particularly like, or when the wife or the husband do or say something that triggers you, how do you respond in that moment? Do you have control? Is there emotional mastery in that area? Because if there isn't, that is going to bleed into this business too. And one of the best things we can do is find gratitude and joy and knowing that you do not need anything outside of, in fact, happiness, how I started this call, is when you do not need anything outside of you to feel happy. But you have so much emotional intelligence and awareness and really control over your emotions and your body and your emotional state that you can trigger happiness or you can trigger wealth, even maybe before the bank account shows six figures. Right. And again, that's not fake it till you make it. You're out there helping a client solve a specific problem, whatever it is that you do, whatever coaching business or whatever area of impact that is that you do. And if it's something, if you're a coach who is selling how to make money or how to, build a business, start small. If it feels inauthentic to talk about big numbers, you shouldn't be doing that anyway. Right. If you're just getting started, or maybe you've made a couple $1,000 a month in your whatever business that you do, affiliate marketing, whatever it is, right? You don't want to be out there out of integrity talking about how you can build this $50,000 a month business. Go help. How many people, especially in today's economy, are out there looking for just ways to make money? Go out and help them get clear on their messaging. Go out and help them earn their first dollar, generate their first lead. Right? Again, you only need to be one or two chapters ahead of whatever it is that you do. And obviously not everyone, we have clients in all different areas, verticals, niches, which makes it even easier. Right? So let's say if there's some limiting belief or some story going on because maybe we're not making as much money as you think that you should be, but your business doesn't even, maybe you teach, who knows, you teach, I don't know, how to get a business ready to exit. If you have that skill, if you have that belief, if you are competent in that area of impact, let that lead. You have probably spent years acquiring the skills on how to get XYZ valuation on a business. I'm just using this as an example. Focus on that, like double down on that. Put your mind, awareness, attention, energy, and focus on the fact that you have skills in what you are good at that. You can teach, you can help, you can solve your clients' problems. right? And continue to grow, continue to increase your skills in that area of impact, right? And stop focusing on the lack of money in your bank account. There's no relevance there. It doesn't, and if let's say if you help people lose weight, right? Get back in shape, get a little bit more energy as a grandparent so you can be there and be there in a full way for your grandkids for years. And you've been able to successfully do that. And you have some good energy. You take care of your body. You have really great, you understand that the whole foods, you move the body, you do the things in the morning, you take care of yourself, and you have some really nice things that you could help maybe a more mature adult, a senior, reclaim their health. And you're really good at that. Focus on that. Like, that's the thing. If you are good, if you have everyone that comes to us has something, every person on the planet has some skills because they have this thing called life. They've been doing it. They have some experience. They have something that they are good at, and that's calling them. Here at Digital Mentors, we just help you package that up and bring it to market, but you're a key piece in this puzzle. And if you're stuck on lack or broke or I can't or why not or I'm not enough or all the money that isn't in the bank account or why should anyone ever buy me? Why what are they gonna hire? Why hire me? All that muck. You get it, right? You see. If you had a workshop today, what energy are you bringing? And this is not to make anybody wrong. This is an adult conversation. Like, they feel that energy. Where are you? If you were really honest with yourself, go to the mirror. You can't lie to yourself. You will feel it. And we all have work to do. The work is never done. But if this is resonating, striking a chord with you, there is something off, right? And we can find it and we can tune into it. And step one is like we said, finding it, being aware, and then releasing it. Just saying, hey, this doesn't serve me anymore. This is not going to help me get where I want to go. This is no longer who I am. And I release this. And when you do things like that, you start to create vacuums in space, vacuums and spaces that you can fill. And you can start to actually condition your body to the emotions you do want, to the emotions that serve you. When you feel that excitement, that passion, that joy, that love, that's your creator. That's the sign that, hey, like, pay attention. When you're in that pocket, like, that's a good thing. That's a sign from your creator saying, hey, this is why you are here. Do this. Keep going. And one of the greatest things that I've done in my career is taking some time in the morning to find that pocket, to find the gratitude and the joy, and understanding that the mastery is when I don't need anybody or anything outside of me anywhere to feel that joy. That is true wealth. That is true happiness. And what's interesting is that when you play the game like that and you are so full, you're just whole, the thing that you want starts to find you versus you having to go chase it. And it becomes more flow, more effortless, and it changes the game. It changes everything. So what are you going to do today? How can you start to embody and step into this idea of it? And I use gratitude and joy, but it could be wealth. It could be a money thing, a money mindset thing. Same rules apply. Getting ahead of it, feeling it now before the money shows up. Grateful for all the things and gratitude before the stuff shows up in this 3D reality, in this earth plane. But you, as a creator, as a little manifester, as a powerful being, get to create and dial in your energy to match something out there. And when you do, you start to bring it here. And a huge takeaway is that you are not separate from the thing that you say that you want. That wealth, that joy, that happiness, that badass relationship, that awesome, for you as a father or a mother, it's like inside of you. You don't need to keep searching. You can tune into it. And that's another huge secret. It's just like it's a part of you, and you just need to remember it and release the things that this life has might have slapped on top of you, the burdens, the limiting beliefs, the I'm not, all that stuff, and come back home. And if you make this a daily practice, you will change. Your family won't even recognize you. Even after the first week, after a month, you'll be a totally different trajectory, and things will start to be falling kind of for you versus against you, falling in your way towards you, people, clients, opportunities. If you stay committed to the work, it's not going to happen overnight. The decision made in a moment, but it's going to take work. You didn't learn some of these things that don't serve you. You didn't believe those things and learn them overnight. We're not going to unlearn and make these massive, it's going to, you again can make the decision in a moment, and we can have a breakthrough. But just give it a little bit of time. Because I believe that, with all that being said, I believe that in a moment, you can change everything. In one decision, one distinction, one aha moment, one experience in a meditation, one flood of these emotions, one something to where you just can't go back, and you just, that time collapses, and you are now it. And you don't need anything out there for confirmation or validation. It just is, which is your natural state of being. Test it out. Whatever you're looking for, whatever emotion, just play with the idea today that you don't need anything outside of your body, outside of you, to feel it and to have it. Just what could that look like? How would you walk today? How would you treat people? How would you, run your business today if you had that XYZ, whatever that is? Just see what happens. See how clients resonate, how the content comes off, and truly get in that state. Don't just talk about it. Move from your head to your heart. See what happens. Love you guys. My name is Brian Finale, one of the co-founders here. Come over and say hi over on LinkedIn. We look forward to seeing you guys in the workshops this week, and have a beautiful rest of the week here that starts strong and follow through and end strong. Keep growing, keep getting better and better. And remember, you are the one.